flying so close to where we belong, and we're trying to go somewhere new.
Hey, what is up everybody? My name is Asher Roland and welcome back to another video in Minecraft. Today, we are going to be adventuring into the new world, seeing all the new stuff that's generated, and checking out the new features in this update. Ignore the fact that I was so cringy there, but right now we're starting out the episode with fishing, because we have gotten fishing in this update as well. So we're just going to go over the new stuff in the 1.2 update. This is of course built on up to 6 minor updates, but we are going to start out with fishing. You can now make a fishing rod, and you can fish as so. Of course, the food does not stack, but you can get the fish. You can walk back into your furnaces. As you can see, I have a lot of furnaces. I may fix this up. I did a bit of work over the minor time I had. I made some of this up, and I kind of built some of it up to look a little bit nicer. I think I put too many furnaces out. I think for sure I put too many furnaces out, and I'm not too sold on the new dock area. Let's go inside and go ahead and cook up this fish in our furnaces here, and then we can go ahead and put it into our fish food chest over here next to our dining area, which is also brand new. Got a few cooked fish here, which we're gonna have a couple more in just a second. There we go. I also want to show you guys what I've done to the back of the base as well. I've done a bit of work back here too. I made the path go through. I made a couple of rocks, like a little cured or purified rocks that are just piled up here from the mine. Even built up a nice beautiful rock right there. A nice little, I don't know what to call that, stalagmite. I don't know, just a cool rock build up. I also forced a big tree to grow. It's actually bigger than I expected it to be, but that is perfect. I wanted a large tree next to my large rock, and I also decided to go ahead and make a little pond back here with a waterfall, and I think it all came together pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this backyard, and you might have also noticed I kind of glossed over this a tiny bit, but this is a little fenced area with an 8 long, 1 wide pool of water in it. This is not a pool. This is the beginnings of a farm, and I was going to make it and just go ahead and till the soil and everything in preparation for eventually finding seeds, when I discovered something. If I get 2 iron out here and make an iron hoe, which is the tool used to, till soil and all that, if we get ourselves an iron hoe here, we will discover something that I did not know was real. I did not know this actually was how this worked, but if we go ahead and till some of the soil here, eventually we will find seeds pop out. I did not know that if you till soil, seeds just come out randomly. Also notice I'm not standing on the soil at all, doing my best to stay on the grass. That is because if you stand on soil, even for just a second, there's like a good chance of you accidentally breaking the tilled soil. So we're not going to deal with that. We're going to go ahead and plant our first 3 seeds of the series, which I did not know existed. So that is new to me. Well, that's weird. Hold on, can I do that again? There we go. That is new to me, and that is a cool experience. I did not know that was how that used to work. So when I was tilling the soil earlier with my stone pickaxe, or with my stone hoe, I was very confused why I was getting seeds, and I was super shocked. It freaked me out. I was like, where did that come from? So now that we have that seed, those 3 seeds, we have a little farm going back there. So I will periodically be switching that out and be making some more seeds growing, and I'll probably get some wheat. I'll show you guys all that when that happens at first. But that's not the main objective for today. The main objective for today is we're going to venture out that way, and we're going to make a nether portal. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these the nether portal ingredients, the 14 obsidian and the flint and steel. So you need to be able to light this portal. So let's go over here to this little off stretch that I built up in between episodes. I built up a little area here, dug out this little space here. As you can see, I have the corners placed in, but for demonstration purposes, I will go ahead and take these out because you don't need the corners of the portal, but it is highly recommended if you want to have it out in the open. It makes it look a little better, but you don't have to. So I'm not going to this time though, or I will this time though. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say here. But you kind of build it in this formation where you have 4 on the bottom, you cover it up, or if you don't want to cover it up, if you don't want to have 4 on the bottom, it's just two empty space, and then it is 1, 2, 3, 4 up, and build that. So there's 3 in the middle, and then build the corner there, and bam, you have all your 14 in a nice, pretty looking organization right there. And you just light the portal with the flint and steel as so. And there you go. You have a nether portal. And it was like perfect timing. Yeah, it makes a lot of loud noises, which is why it's not inside the house or anywhere near the house. It is way over there off the side of my road and my path. So it is kind of hidden away. It's not the prettiest looking thing, so I have it hidden, and it is out of view, so we don't have to stare at it and be horrified at how ugly it looks. Yeah, you can hardly even tell it's there except for when you get close and you start hearing the whooshing sounds. But that is, of course, not what we're doing first. We are going to go adventure in our boat out to the border. And if you don't know anything about old-style Minecraft, you don't know what that means. So let's go ahead and hop in the boat, and let's go over and see this border. So, actually, before we head out, I had forgotten something that was very important, very, very important to our adventures here. We need a new item in this version. This new item is called this new item actually is the clock. But we'll also need an item from the last version called the compass. The last version, the only actually addition was this item right here, which is what we're going to really need today, which is the compass. You just need 4 iron ingots in this shape right here with a redstone dust in the middle, and you have yourself a compass. It points you back towards the spawn point, not towards your home. There's no way to do that until like literally the newest version. We also put 4 gold ingots in that same position with the same redstone dot in the middle, and you have yourself a clock. That'll be helpful because it lets me know when it is time to go inside, because very shortly after it gets past that middle point. Let's actually put it in our hand so you guys can see it. Shortly after it gets to the middle point, the sun goes all the way down, and then shortly after that, mobs start to spawn. So right now, if this were future versions, you'd be able to sleep in a bed. You can actually sleep in a bed right when it gets to the pixel before this, shortly before it gets to this one. But right here, as you guys can see, soon our compass our clock will change as this moon comes up. So let's keep watching. There it goes. It just changed. So we're actually going to stay inside for a little bit, and then I will catch you guys when I am over at the border, finally. Alright, let's go over there. Okay, so we're actually not that far away from the home, but you can probably already start to see over there in the distance. I'm going to zoom in a tiny bit, and I don't even have to. You guys can see that back there. We have a giant wall of world. And in case you guys are curious, the reason why that loaded in so fast is because I already have loaded in this wall before. I went ahead and loaded some of it in so it would preload so it would be easier. I also wanted to just double check that I wasn't crazy and that this actually was going to happen. So let's actually, before we go over here and just easily walk onto the world, let's just hop over here and check out the world borders. Or the chunk borders, not world borders. As you guys can see, it shows a... I'm dying, apparently. You guys can see it shows a perfect representation of how the world looks from a side view. You guys can also see this particular biome is actually a snowy biome. Inside, you guys can also see that we have some grass, or some dirt, we got some stone, we got some coal, even some iron is over here on surface level. That's what's more surprising to me. Why this particular chunk is loaded, I don't know. This must have been preloaded somehow and just stayed in the ocean. Yeah, if we do a quick little UE and then get back out of here, I'm going to take you guys over to that landmass and let's hop onto this world. Alright, let's go ahead and just leave that boat, I guess, out there. Boats in this version are very, very annoying, but as you guys can see, we got new terrain here. It looks like some of this terrain is actually is generated differently from. I'm having trouble talking today again. From the terrain that's way over there. As you can see, there are less trees, it's less populous, and we have this strange border of snow. So I believe this is actually the new generation right here. So if we just go into here, we can actually see we have a snowy biome, which for snow layers you can just shovel. You'll get one snow back, which they change eventually, which eventually becomes available to get more than one snowball back. And no. So eggs are stacking to 64 in this version, but in the newer versions they stack to 16. So I thought maybe this stacked over to 64 as well. Something else you guys can do with snowballs is so you can craft them and do your 4x4 and make some snow blocks, which when broken, just give you back 4 snowballs. You got iron here. So I was thinking about digging that up, but I decided to not. Alright, let's keep going, see if there's anything else going on around here. Got some flowers, which I don't think they generate in newer versions of the game in snow biomes, but it might just be this is an old one. And here is another example of a biome change. It looks like the biome wraps around the side of there too. So we're not going to do too much in this biome. We're mostly just here to check it out. And I'm also on the hunt for a particular item that is new in this version. So we're going to continue down as I die slowly. And I'm just going to hunt for an item called sugarcane. Or I guess it's more accurately called in these versions, reeds. It is essentially just a cane that makes sugar. It is exactly what you think it is. So we are just on the hunt for that at the moment. I don't think it spawns in snow, so we have to go on a hunt in these kinds of biomes. This looks like modern day plains biome, so I'm assuming that's what this is. I don't think the 3 screen shows biomes yet. Nope. And then this is what is a forest biome. We're also looking for another block called the birchwood, because birchwood is also in this version. It is a new type of tree, the birch tree. Sometimes it has its own biome, sometimes it's mixed in with these oak trees. And yeah, it spawns just periodically in a forest biome. I think also in plains biomes as well. So we're just kind of hunting for that right at the moment. The pig just committed death on itself. And if we check our clock here, it is showing that it is getting close to nighttime. So pretty soon here we are going to have to hide in a hole and do that as we will. Wait, there it is. Okay. So let's go and swim over here and let's collect the reeds. You might, if you watch anyone who plays the game nowadays, who's been playing it for a long time, they often call them reeds, because that was the original name in the game. In fact, when the tooltips come up, I think it's even in the next update when that happens, you'll actually see that they are actually called reeds in the tooltips, in like the naming. The game code actually calls them reeds, is what I'm trying to say here. But there's even some more. So yeah, these I think existed in the old one, in the 1.1, but I honestly couldn't find them, so I didn't know where to look. So it was easier to find them when they were biomes now. So desert biomes have an assortment of things, including sand, water, and cacti, which are also very handy for nothing right now. These are currently the only crops you can automatically farm because of the way that they work. If you, let's go ahead and demonstrate this. Does that work? Yeah. If you put a block next to this, it'll pop off. So you can create automatic farm by putting like fences or other blocks, one block up next to these guys, and they'll just pop off. will just pop off the top block as they start growing. So it's perfect for automatic farming. All you'd have to do is just put a water stream underneath them, and then the water flows them away from the cacti. You can collect it in a little area. Now, there's no way to automatically collect them. You actually have to go stand over there and collect them. Okay, so I did a bit of research, and I'm a big dummy. I did not do my research very well last time I looked at the wiki, which is where I've been finding all this information about the updates and all that. But apparently, birch trees are not introduced until beta 1.2, but the main source of knowledge that I found on that actually also included reeds and sugarcane into that. But obviously, as we can tell by the fact that I have it, that's not true. So I'm not entirely sure what that means at this point in time, but there's definitely a bunch of reeds in the world, so I don't know what that means. Apparently it was all just made in, I think it said January 2011 is when birch trees were introduced, but it said at the same time as sugarcane and that stuff. So it may be saying that when the name changed to sugarcane, but I'm not sure at the moment. We're just crafting up a boat here so we can make our way back over to home. That's not what I meant to put up there. I need to put that up there. Okay, let's hop in this boat and make it back home. Okay, so according to the compass, it is a little bit this way, so we should be getting pretty close to the old terrain. Okay, so now as we pass the old cave that we were digging in day 1, it should just be off in this direction. So we're almost home with a new crafting table and a missing shovel and a few new items of the game. So yeah, let's go ahead and head back home here. I'll actually go ahead and show you guys the route. And yeah, it's just off this direction. Getting kind of close to it now, I believe. It is a good distance from spawn. It's not terribly far, but it is a good distance to where you can't see spawn anymore from the higher points. So it is a nice place. Over here, all secluded over here by the ocean, right next to the chunk borders. It's quite perfect. Now there's a lot of terrain in this old world that looks like it might be chunk borders, because there's a lot of hard borders on these mountains, but they are not. They're just really, really poorly generated mountains. So for the time being, I think we're going to go ahead and keep these growable things in this chest right here underneath the window. And then in a later date, we will create farms for both of these. The moment reeds doesn't have any use, you can't even craft it into sugar like you can in the newer versions. You can't make, I don't know, can you make paper with it? I don't know if you can. It's paper a thing. You can make paper and books and bookshelves, so that is something that you could make, I believe. And we might do that at a later date. Okay, so we have our inventory cleared out. All we have is a sword, pickaxe, torches, and a shovel, and a lot of cobblestone. Even got some food and a little bit of armor, because there are some baddies in there. We got our food just in case we need to heal up. We got these because sometimes the portal in there spawns over lava, and also sometimes you got to build out over lava lakes and stuff. You guys will see how the terrain looks in there. It's a hellish landscape, literally. And then we got a shovel just in case. Soul sand is in this version, but we're looking at the change logs. For some reason, they made it not spawn anymore, replacing it with gravel. I'm not sure why, but that it exists in there. And here we go. This is the landscape of the Nether. And right now it looks like nothing is spawning. Let's get away from that. Let's put down some torches so we can actually see this landscape right here around us. I think torches actually go further than they do in the overworld here. But yeah, as you can see, we have a bit of landscape here and not much else. We also have a new block in this world, which is nowhere near where I am. That sound that you just heard actually was a ghast. It's spelled a lot like ghost because they look a lot like ghosts. and they shoot fireballs at you, which explode around you and deal some damage and light things on fire. Let's just go searching around here. We can see the lava. It's around here. There's a ghast over there in the distance. Sounds like one's to my left of you here too somewhere. And as you guys can see, there's not much else here besides lava. This block here. There's some pigmen down there that you can barely see. Ghasts, you have fire, and that is glowstone. Which let's find a way to get over to some glowstone because I would like some. You can actually swat the fireballs back, which in the newer versions it's actually it actually hit them. So in the newer versions of the game, it's actually an achievement / advancement, and yeah, it just hits them back and it blows up the things over there instead of us. And you guys can see the pigmen now, because now they're starting to spawn. Let's not accidentally hit one, because they actually are dangerous. These guys are called zombie pigmen. In the newest version of Minecraft coming out pretty soon, they are called zombified piglins, because the Nether is actually getting updates in this newer version of Minecraft. So now let's go ahead and mine up this new block. This block is called Glowstone, and drops anywhere between 1 and 4 glowstone dust. Actually, it looks like it's just dropping 1. Might just be a newer version that drops more than 1. Yeah, it looks like these all drop 1, so that's not helpful. Yeah, so now they drop 1, but in a near future update, they will drop 4 at the same time. And then in a release update, they'll drop anywhere between 1 and 4. So it's kind of up in the air. And as you guys can tell as I'm breaking these, okay. As you can tell that I'm, from breaking these, that these are light sources. We are back through. It might be nighttime because the day-night cycle still continues when you're in the Nether. Yep, it's nighttime. But thankfully I have everything lit up. Okay. Back to peace. That was terrifying. What do you say? Okay, so with what we have here, let's see if this new trick works still. So there's a block in newer versions of Minecraft, and I keep saying that because I'm not sure what the differences are sometimes. You can smelt this, but it looks like that's not the case, which does also tell me that something is not in the game. So in the game, in the newer versions, there is something called a nether portal. I'm going to put the nether stuff in here. And a nether portal, or no, I'm saying that wrong, a nether fortress. And a nether fortress hosts blazes, which are in the game right now, but I don't know where they spawn. So, because I haven't found any fortresses yet in any of my testing, so I don't know if fortresses exist right now. In the future, they'll also spawn withers when that update happens, but at the moment, once again, nothing. But let me show you what can be done with this. If you have 4 of them at least, you can craft them into nothing. Okay. What? Oh dear. Okay. You need a total of 9 of them for alpha to make them into glowstone. Interesting. Okay. And in the newest, I don't know when this update happens, but in an update, they changed that to where it's only 4. So that really threw me off. Yeah, that was a lot more than I was expecting to have to use. But yeah, if you use 9 of them, you can make yourself a glowstone block, which is expensive. But I think we've traveled everywhere we can today. We showed you guys the Nether. We showed you guys the new world with our new blocks and our new biomes. But I think that's all we have for today. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you're new. Share it with some friends on your social media. And yeah, if you guys liked it, just share it around. In the next episode, we will probably... You know what? I don't know what we're doing right now. We might be working on one of those projects that are behind me. I made a projects wall. So we might be working on one of those projects. We might make a bigger house. We might make a, who knows what. We might make a cactus farm. I don't know. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. See you guys.